Okay. Oh, thank you for the invitation. I am here, well, I'm Maria de Fátima Andrade. I work at the University of São Paulo with air quality and photochemical process. And now I am a chair of the GURME group, and I'm here to present something about GURME that belongs to the WMO. Well, I hope also to ask help from Henk that has more experience, but we are starting this, I'm starting now as a chair this month, and then I will show what more or less I know was what I understand. Well, the motivation for GURME, as you know, is the importance of the urban area in the scope of climate and weather. And see here.
So it should be okay.
Okay. Well, it's very general, this presentation. First, you know, we have the World Meteorological Organization. It is supported by almost 200 members and coordinates a lot of national experts dealing with meteorological and hydrological services, also academia, and the private sector. Is the co-founder and host agency for the IPCC, and this is quite important, all of us. And there are different technical departments they are part of the WMO. I will show some of these with more detail, but we have the science and innovation, infrastructure, services, and here in science and innovation, we have a group for climate, the WCRP, for the weather, WWRP, and atmospheric composition, that is the GAW. GURME, related to the urban aspects, is connected to the GAW, to the atmospheric composition sector. Probably many of you know someone that's part of this climate and weather and the GAW groups in WMO. But you see, as we can see here, we have science, we have infrastructure, and also services. Then it is related to produce science, to give this infrastructure that you can develop these ideas, and also services that is to have something to the community. There are some specific activities now that are going on in the storms, wildfires, and that pollution. The Global Atmospheric Watch program inside the WMO research, and I will explain a little bit more. It's advanced and enhanced science, service, and infrastructure. And the subjects, aerosols, gases, stratospheric ozone, and greenhouse gases. Then inside this GAW, we are going to have different services and different groups working in providing, also collecting data and providing this database also for community. I'm going to show this here. You see, there are, if you go inside the website of WMO and we look for GAW, we are going to have a list of stations. And well, there are many acronyms. It's very complicated, but we can find the data related to air quality, the meteorological data. Then it's more than 200 parameters that can be found there, and then you can download even the data, or can see if the station is running. If you go here and put a station, you can see if it is running, the data that is available, all in one web page. Also, we can imagine that we have gaps in, or now we have a lot of stations that use low-cost sensors, and then we have gaps in low-cost sensors. satellite data, and also some air quality, some national air quality stations, networks that are not, the data is not available in the website. But the idea is also always to improve this, to have all the information in one place. Then it's one of the, you see, when I was talking about GAW, we put here that we have infrastructure, services, and science and innovation in belonging to this. And then here we have the infrastructure, services, science for services. Many initiatives that we have is, for instance, deposition. This here is an example of having information system for greenhouse gases also. There is a group and also a bulletin every year related to the concentration of the greenhouse gases. I think everybody uses this data. Well, initiative in deposition. This is our science that is going on. Another example here, the fires. We can imagine that this is also a very emerging topic because with the great heat waves and the drought and all these conditions, we are going to have these events of forest fires much more frequent, and this is also one question, one important question, and also the warning of and forecasting for dust storms, fires, and we can also mention the air quality forecasting and information systems, these GAFs, that we have the forecasting of air quality for all the world. Then we have this aspect of monitoring the facilities and forecasting. And here is a map showing some of the areas that are being covered. You can see here that now we are putting some more light in the Latin America with air quality mod forecasting, you see, because it's one area without not having so many in this contest. But for Africa, there is now a training in air quality forecasting that is PREFIA. The idea is to have this for other places. And at the end, this capacity development that is very important in training for measurements. There are some training, for instance, in GAW Tech, that is also involving not only air quality, but also greenhouse gas training measurements of these compounds, sounding, atmospheric sounding. We can have these WMO bulletins and the GAW newsletter. In the GAW newsletter, that it's a monthly newsletter, it's very nice to know what we are going to have in terms of data, reports, projects that are being developed, and also the WMO bulletins. It's once a year. Now September 7th, that will be launched another, or tomorrow will be have another WMO bulletins that always put some important aspects or some important subjects in one bulletin. This is quite important also. Inside GAW, then we have the GURME. You see that this is in the website of GURME. If you put GURME GAW in WMO, it appears this configuration, this schematic configuration. What we have here in this is similar to what we have in GAW, but GAW is more general. In GURME is related to the urban aspects, to the urban air quality, urban weather and climate, and also the services like air quality forecasting, and also related to urban stress, urban boundary layer process, are these integrated services. You see them have the observations, capacity building, the modeling, and at the end, the users that is connected to the services of the program. I put here in different colors the activities of the GURME. We have the meteorological and air quality measurements that support urban forecasting, providing cities with access to numerical modeling, air quality forecasting, and monitoring information. And also, GURME can support international projects. If someone has a project that wants to be supported by GURME, it's not financial support, but it's support in terms of helping solving some questions that you have, and also to make it more visible to the community. We have the terms of reference for GURME, and it is 6 points. One is the guidance for modeling air quality in urban areas, facilitate research. Well, I must remember that are related to urban areas. No, it's not global, but urban. It is aspects of urban areas inside the WMO, the collaboration, some guidance for observations, risk assessment for urban areas, and training. These are the main important aspects of the terms of reference for GURME. And I can mention some examples that involve the group of the GURME, like this training materials and best practice for chemical weather air quality forecasting. That was a very comprehensive material for air quality forecasting. This guidance on measuring, modeling, and monitoring the canopy layer, urban heat island, also with the help of GURME. And to finish, I would like only to show some examples of projects that were mentioned that have the support of GURME. When this promote it is a project in Delhi. It's connected to to air quality modeling in Delhi, in India, and then they use WRF model and local simulation for dust also, and to see the impact. They consider for air quality this OSCAR system, and also the ADMS for atmospheric dispersion modeling. It's to look at local process and coupling all these regional and local modelings and using WRF-CAN. This OSCAR is very local for the emissions, and then the WRF-CAN CEMAC for regional simulations. This is a kind of example of project connected to GURME. And then at the end, they have the exposure maps. That's the concentration and the population exposed to that concentrations, in this case, concentrations of NO2. Another one example is this for Shanghai. It's not Shanghai, only Shanghai, but many, some very big cities, the mega cities in China. It's also a project that was submitted to GURME, and it's there as a supported project in GURME. And to finish, the last 2 years, also the group prepared a paper that was published already, analyzing the air quality during the COVID, the lockdown due to the COVID, and also the last air quality and climate bulletin. I put here some of the results from this paper. It was analyzed 63 cities, 540 stations, and this was possible because of the collaboration from different countries, from different groups that send the data, the air quality data, the local air quality data that was very difficult to find without the local help because people knows where to find the data, knows how to translate it into a language that everybody can understand. And then with this, it was cities in all the world, every world, and then it was possible to analyze if this many aspects, the variation of the concentrations of particles, ozone, most particles in ozone, and analyze if the ozone has increased or decreased, but relates also if it's an urban or a background station, and the influence of the meteorological conditions in the variation of the concentration. It was very interesting because it was not at all the places that we have the same behavior. It depends on the sources, the conditions, the meteorological conditions, and also the precursors of ozone and PM 2.5. It was a integrated analysis that was performed by all the members of the GURME group. This is like an example of working together. And we have results here, but I think it's not the moment to discuss, but only to show that the variation in 2020, in the lockdown, was compared to the 5 previous years, from 2015 to 2019. And and all the values, the variation, were compared with the WMO, WHO air quality guidelines values, the 2021 air quality guideline. Then with this, I'd like to thank your attention.